Welcome to today's video. We're going to be shooting another different video today. Not my favorite content to create, but I think it's something that's worth talking about, something that's worth mentioning, and it's going to be on California 3030. If you're not familiar with what California 3030 is, by the year 2030, they want to introduce 14% more MPAs to the 16% of MPAs that we already have implemented into our coastal waters. First off, as a huge saltwater fisherman, I am really big on conservation, preservation. I'm extremely passionate about our local marine wildlife down here in California because it's all about my sport. Without healthy fisheries, I don't get to enjoy, my favorite hobby, my favorite sport. And more importantly, neither do my children or my grandchildren as I get older. And I know a lot of fellow anglers that I fish with and personally know are the same way. It's kind of a common misconception that, fishermen could care less about marine wildlife because we are out there targeting, fish and, wildlife species. But that couldn't be any further from the truth. It kind of reminds me of just like a quick little story that's happened in so many different instances where I'll be fishing down on the beach or at the bay and, I'm bringing a fish in and, kind of people are excited and surrounding me. And there's that one person that's like, oh my gosh, like, please, like, you're hurting it. Throw the fish back, throw the fish back. And, maybe that day I was practicing catch and release. Maybe I wasn't, but it doesn't matter. We are allowed to, take fish home as long as they're the right size, species, length, etc. And seafood is something that I like to enjoy, but two things can be true at once. I could love to fish and harvest fish, go out tuna fishing, target yellowtail, lobstering, etc., but also be extremely passionate about the conservation and preservation of our fisheries. Those two things can exist simultaneously, which I feel like a lot of people get misconstrued, but that is one thing that I wanted to mention. So now getting into a little bit more about what California 3030 is and what they're wanting to implement is, again, they want to go from 16% of MPAs, which are currently already in place, and bump that up 14% more, so almost double down, into a total of 30%. So, I don't want to get too political on my channel, but just California 3030 itself, it's catchy, it sounds really good. It doesn't sound like it's a lot. But the thing that a lot of people don't understand, especially if you're not a fisherman, is introducing 14% more of MPAs. These MPAs aren't going to be just anywhere. They're going to be in, these areas that, hold a lot of fish and wildlife, which is great, for protecting them, but terrible for sport. You can't just pull your boat over wherever you want in the middle of the ocean and start fishing. There's a lot of just open water, sand, and no wildlife at all. So therefore, you just can't physically fish there. So the point that I'm trying to make is that 14% doesn't sound like a lot, but it's going to be more than likely closer to 100% of our actual fisheries that we fish today than 30%. Because again, just to reiterate, you can't just fish anywhere. So again, it doesn't sound like much, but it's going to drastically change, the fishing community, commercial fishing, things like that. These places that not only myself, but it's super important to have the kids out on the water, get them outside, especially this day and age. Children are locked inside playing video games on the tablet, on their phone. We need things like that. And also another thing that I want to bring up is this is something that normally when government takes stuff away from us, we don't get it back, and by 2030, they want it to be 30%. Well, what about 2040? Because I am confident myself that, I want to be fishing in 2040. This is something that I love and I am extremely passionate about, and I want to do for the rest of my life. And I want to take my kids fishing. I want to take my grandchildren fishing. And again, just if it's 30% in 2030, what is it going to be in 2040? And will we ever get these back at all? So I just really wanted to create this video and create a space here on YouTube for us fishermen to just talk about it, just topic of conversation. What can we do as a community to prevent things like this from happening. But I just wanted to, open up discussion for us. Feel free to leave some comments down below. I just want this to be a space for us to all kind of just talk and converse and maybe find some solutions, what we can do together as a team, and just to spread awareness. This is something that I'm sure most of the people that are on my channel are at least somewhat aware of, but if you're not, I'm glad I can kind of just bring some awareness to this topic. But yeah, that's gonna be just about it. Leave some comments down below. This is gonna be one of the last videos on our channel lately that aren't gonna be directly just out there on the water catching fish. I myself, as well as my buddy who I create YouTube videos with, decided this winter to do real reviews and stuff inside instead of out on the water in the middle of winter. Super excited for that. Look out for some fun fishing videos starting next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.